The Philippine Supreme Court asks the House of Representatives, its Secretary General, and the Senate to comment on the petition filed by Vice President Duterte against her impeachment case. Supreme Court spokesperson Attorney Camille Ting says the respondents are required to submit their comment within 10 days. The Vice President asked for a temporary restraining order against the Senate from holding her impeachment trial. But the High Court did not issue a TRO. The Supreme Court has yet to act on the petition against the impeachment filed by lawyers and individuals from Mindanao.
The Supreme Court is still studying whether these cases should be consolidated.
Was it part of the agenda?
That I'm not so sure. But, well, yes, actually, yes, it was. But then again, the action was they were going to study whether these cases should be consolidated or not. We'll just have to wait and see what the court will do after.
Meanwhile, Senate President Francis Escudero sees the Senate handing down a verdict on the impeachment trial by October. Escudero explained if the impeachment court begins to work after the 20th Congress opens, the actual trial may last for about 3 months. Escudero, however, maintains he is not in favor of a special session for an impeachment trial.
Lawmakers from the Makabayan bloc of the House of Representatives continue to urge President Marcos to call for a special session of Congress to allow the Senate to convene as an impeachment court. Vivian Gulia has more.
3 lawmakers from the Makabayan bloc of the House of Representatives urged President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Monday to call for a special session of Congress so that the Senate may convene as an impeachment court for the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Representatives Franz Castro, Arlene Brosas, and Raul Manuel expressed concern over supposed delays in the trial. But some congressmen from the House majority are against involving the president in the impeachment process, which they said may be perceived as influencing the senator judges.
Baka sabihin naman ng mga kritik na yan, kritiko ng ating pamahalaan, na pag ang presidente ang mag-request ng special session, baka sabihin nila it would translate into influencing the senator judges, which should not allow the direct participation of the president. It is the sole mandate of Congress.
Nasa Senado po yung bola. Nasa sa kanila kung isushoot or ipapasa.
Several groups are planning to hold a rally on Tuesday to urge the Senate to act on the articles of impeachment against Duterte, which the House of Representatives filed last February 5th. According to Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel, the only reasonable delay for Vice President Duterte's impeachment trial should only be around a month. He argues that Senate President Francis Escudero's plan to start the trial in July goes against the Constitution, which mandates that it should proceed forthwith. Senate President Francis Escudero had said that he would consult his colleagues regarding Pimentel's call for an all-senator caucus. For the Senate leader, since Congress is on break, the Senate cannot hold a special session on its own without the president calling for it. Vivian Gulia, ABS-CBN News.
The Philippine poll body is tightening its monitoring of polling firms, which are conducting pre-election surveys. Johnson Manabat reports.
This is the biggest attempt of COMELEC to regulate the surveys.
The Commission on Elections is set to meet with different survey firms on Thursday to establish guidelines on election surveys for the midterm polls. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia says they will invite about 6 known survey firms for the talks. The poll chief also called on the media, religious organizations, and other stakeholders to identify who commissioned or paid for the survey.
Ang amin lang pong pakiusap sa mga entities na yan na nasa simbahan, nasa educational institution, sana lang masabi lang doon o sino ang nag-commission nito, sino ang nagbayad nito, ano ang ginamit na scientific method.
Garcia also clarified who are required to register to the commission when conducting election surveys. He says so-called calzada or street surveys and informal election surveys don't need to register.
Yung mga ginagawang kalsada surveys ay hindi po kasama yon. Yung mga ginagawang surveys ng mga dyaryo, radyo, hindi po kasama yon sapagkat yan ay part ng News and Public Affairs Program. Ayaw natin na mapaviolate yung freedom of the press.
But for those who need to register, Garcia warns failure to comply is grounds for an election offense. Meanwhile, the Commission issued guidelines for the conduct of election debates. Under COMELEC Resolution 1115, debate organizers shall ensure that all bona fide candidates are invited, well represented, and treated equally. The organizers, according to COMELEC, shall inform the agency in writing of the debate or forum at least once a week prior to the event. The appearance or exposure of any candidate in a debate will not be deducted in their airtime as stated under COMELEC Resolution on Political Advertisement. Garcia, however, notes candidates are not obliged to attend the debates.
Sapagkat pinag-aaralan namin yung issue ng constitutionality nito. Pero yung dapat sisiguraduhin na alam kung ano yung mga dapat issue-based. At isang linggo bago mag-debate, dapat alam na mismo ng mga magpa-participate kung ano more or less ang issues na tatalakayin.
As of Monday, February 24, Garcia said more than 45 million ballots, or about 60% of the ballot requirement, have been printed. Johnson Manabat, ABS-CBN News.